So, welcome back again to this lecture, and in the previous lectures I have given some idea about road dust and then kind of our urban dust or anthropogenic dust, this is also called, versus the natural dust. And this topic is actually like we will be discussing on the natural versus road dust, natural and road dust emissions mitigation. So, I am not going to discuss about the natural sources because we do not control the natural sources, but we have to control on the road urban road dust. This is very important slides, and I think I have given a very very good overview of this one, that these aerosols how they are actually contributing. This slide gives you all the overview that how the aerosols the road dust, they are urban pollution. Especially in context of road dust, how they are actually contributing, we discussed, is given all the processes that are there actually. And if you have to actually like here you have background aerosols, and then you have background pollution that is already there, and then you have added pollutions from the transported ones. So, the sources is there, background pollution. One of the things actually is very important, you must know this is controlling the background pollution is also very important. You must have seen that when we go for vacation, we usually close the rooms, right, and close the rooms, we close the windows. But when you come there, you will see there huge amount of dust is deposited. This is also actually kind of if I say that indoor dust. So, there is a huge amount of the indoor dust is deposited everywhere on the whether you see on the furse or you see on the table, even in the kitchen. This is now you can imagine. This is the aerosols that is already there in that in your room. It is, imagine a situation that it is not going out. So, if you have to keep clean or if you have to develop a mitigation strategy, what you have to do? You have to clean this natural source. I call it natural source, I mean what you call background pollution or background source of pollution that is there already in that in your room. So, you have very beautiful room, everything is locked, you went outside, you enjoyed your time there, you came back and you see that a layer of dust is deposited, and this dust is not only dust, and when you were there in the rooms you do not realize those things. Because why you do not realize? Because most of the time either the wind, either you are putting on the fans or you are moving, when you are there in the room you are cleaning them. So, whenever you are cleaning, part of the aerosols that is actually there in the room, which is deposited on the floor, that you can actually remove from there. Usually you do with the water also, you see the cleaning, not only with the So, you do cleaning with the water also. So, with map everything you do with the cloths, you do with the water, clean your houses, lots of things, that activities that you do, but at the same time still there is a pollution, huge amount of pollution that is already there in the room. Similar thing, imagine a situation in a larger perspective, that there is a urban area, urban boundary is there, everything is locked in that room. And if you just put I give you analogy, like if you put the fan in your room, it is not going to clean the pollution outside. The room will still be keep on moving, the pollution in the room will be just keep on moving. So, they will be still there. Similarly, urban air pollution, the situation is almost like similar. Once they enter into the urban cities or in the cities, they usually are not removed. And one of the Indian problem is that we always, what we do, we clean our rooms and we bring all the jargons and we put on the roads. what will happen? You have cleaned your houses, but all the garbage that were there you have put on the road. Now, what will happen? This road, there will be travelling with the bikes, people will be using bikes, people will be using cars, they will be and once you have deposited them on the road, they will be again resuspended. So, effectively what you are doing, actually you are just putting one source of your pollution to another source, you are not removing at all. Yes, of course, you are cleaning your room, you are able to clean your room, the pollution level might be lower down, but at the same time those pollution will be there in the neighboring places, it is not removed. And similar things happen. Usually what you see, this is the manholes, so they are open, and this is on the road, and there is actually like what will happen on the drainage areas. You have a drainage here. This road, there will be water when there will be rainy season, this water will be coming flowing, this one they will be deposited in this one, and this drainage will be blocked, and it will be blocked not because of the road dust only, but because of the plastics that we used, and then many other what you call garbage that are there. So, this is not clean, this road actually is the side of, if you see this one, the drainage is almost blocked, and the stupid things that we do, we just take those things from the drainage and put on the road sides. For what purpose? For drying this. Now, when you are putting this one, remember this is very important for the policy makers, especially in the urban areas, that when you are putting this on the roads, how you are going to help this one? This will become dry, this means that this will loosen its strength, the binding of the different particles will lose, and when your vehicle is moving, this will go on this, and then they will they will drag these aerosols on the further up. When they are dragging these aerosols, what will happen? These aerosols will be actually going now and then are contributing, and this is the reasons on the road side, especially on the road sides and on the dividers, in the close to the divider sides on the roads, you see huge amount of dust is deposited. Now, if you do not remove those dust, just remember this one, that if you do not remove those dust particles, they are going to again be there, they will not be removed at all. So, with the vehicle they will be moving from one place A, say actually you have a place A here, it may be actually pollution, you can move to place B, but the road will be very close to the roads. So, people who are residing very close to the roads, they are more vulnerable for this kind of toxic elements. Okay? So, this is very important that we need to understand this. So, how do we control, what emission control measures can be taken for the road dust and construction? This is very important, and we are coming with these ideas, although some places it has been implemented. Daily vacuum cleaning, sweeping is not good at all. If you just keep on sweeping, you are not going to remove, maybe you are just putting and collecting 70% of the road dust material or the garbage. Actually, you are collecting garbage, not the road dust. The sweeping will not, because the sweeping in the house is different than the sweeping on the roads. Usually, sweeping on the roads is not done with the flower sticks and other things, like they are very different kind of sweeping tools that we use. So, sweeping will not allow that. So, what we will do? We need to clean those things. Okay. So, for example, how can we suppress these dust aerosols? So, this is actually like water cannon that they use. Okay. Wherever there is a huge pollution or the dust emission is higher, what they will do? They will take this actually kind of water cannon, and then this will give actually like mist aerosol. And this mist aerosol, what it will do? It is actually humid, water droplets are there, and then this, suppose a particle is there here, and then water droplets can be actually stick together, and if the weight of these particles becomes higher, they can be deposited on the roadside, they can be removed. Now, once they are removed, they are on the roads, what they will do, the next level things they do, they use this kind of sweeping actually. Road sweeper trucks are there. So, they, if you are using especially in the corners of the roads or roadside, they are very useful. They remove major of the pollutants, major of the road dust particles that are there in the atmosphere. But in Indian condition, the problem is that the road itself is a very bad. Road is not in good condition. If you do this one sweeping, maybe the gitti, what is they called gitti, the gitti will come out from that, and that gitti will be then actually becoming another problem. Then the once the one part of the gitti will come, one gitti will come from there, there will be that place, the particles that are they were attached with this one, they will loosen its strength again. And when they loosen their strength, they lose their strength, what they will do? They will be becoming a kind of very source. So, this kind of, I have seen this in India, we are using very frequently this one, but this is again very useless until and unless your roads are not good. If the roads are not properly the construction of the road is not of very good quality, these things will not work. This will be again the roads, and we know that the condition of the roads are usually not very good in India. So, this will be actually a big problem on the road dust emission. Okay. So, the use of mist cannons, there is a good option to reduce air pollution, and in India we have come again with the sprinklers on the road. Your sprinklers, what it will do? This is a good option. Sprinklers can be a good option, but this sprinklers will remove the particles or the pollution for a very short period of time. They will not remove the pollutants from the urban atmosphere. If you talk about the urban atmosphere, the particles or the pollutants are still there. They are just actually in the atmosphere, they were in the atmosphere, and when you use the sprinklers on the road, they might be suppressed for some time, but when the water dries out, these particles will loosen their strength again, and during this they will become a part of aerosols. So, they will become a part of pollution again. So, use of sprinkler is not a good option. Rather than that, what is actually we should use road sweeper trucks, and when you use road sweeper trucks, that could be, because that road sweeper trucks, they will suck all the particles that are actually there, and they will be, you can transport it somewhere else actually and put it in some drainage. So, that kind of things are there. Only dry sweeping is possible, which itself generate a lot of dust particles. In India, sweeping which we do, it is not actually good. Wet sweeping is not possible because the road condition is not good, as I said that one. So, in India, this is again a very big problem. So, kind of we need to have a mandate of cleaning of arterial road, this is important, okay, and commercial areas. Use water, we can still use the water sprinklers to suppress the dust, but then what next? Enforce use of cover tarpaulins for vehicle transporting construction material, impose penalty on the violation. This is another very important thing. Thus, most of the time these actually transporting, especially the construction activities, the sand will be filled till the top, and when the tractor is moving, you have wind and then it is moving like so it is not actually stable, it is already a loosen. So, part of this can be taken away by the dust, and part because of the movement of the tractor, this will be again deposited on the road. So, these things has to be controlled. Mandate the dust control measures at construction site, this is very important. We usually there are actually regulations on this one, but these regulations unfortunately are not adopted very properly. So, this is actually the very important, that we need to see the construction sites, at the construction sites, that there is actually control measures have been taken place. Wet suppression is needed there, enclosures are needed, you must use the screen or wheel washing, this is very important. If you are not doing this one, then this will be putting a lot of urban dust in the atmosphere. Mechanize and expand road cleaning operation, procure adequate vacuum cleaning trucks and sweepers. This is very important, but before procuring these ones, we must have the good quality of road, otherwise it will be very difficult. Okay. Similarly, if you have to manage the construction and demolition, we need to establish a kind of recycling of construction and demolition waste. Usually in India we are very good on those things actually, because what we do, we usually when the demolition happens or construction happens, we use actually to fill our some place which is actually at the lower level, compared to the roads. So, that is usually utilized, but this is again very important. These construction and demolition waste, if they are transported to some other places, they itself become a very important source of urban air pollution, especially the road dust, because they are when, like I said, the example of transporting the sands, similar thing happens. So, you have a loosened material which with the winds and movement of the trucks or the tractor, it can be it can become part of this one. Then enforce construction and demolition waste rules in entirely, we need to this one. We need to develop paved soldiers, sidewalks, green buffers along the roads to prevent road dust suspension. This is very important, and because especially in the if you go to the abroad, you see that we have very good kind of paved sidewalks, green buffers are there actually around the road. So, that can help in actually in suspension, remove kind of reducing the air pollution or mitigation measures. Implement a construction impact assessment system. This is also very important. Especially in the we have development authorities in many of the urban areas, and they must actually implement the construction impact assessment system. So, if you are not doing this one, that how much actually construction is going to cost to the city, and maybe actually it must be actually some charges. It might there is no bad idea to charge that one. Establish a construction dust control code. So, you design that, okay, you have to completely block your system when you are doing the construction. This becomes very important. Phase out unpaved road stretches and surface of the city through mechanical paving and greening. This is important again, that we need to do mechanical paving and greening for the areas for the moving, especially in the moving for the moving people or the roads. Adopt mechanical vacuum cleaning of all public spaces such as parks, market, institutions. This is very important. If you do not do this, we are not going to mitigate the urban air pollution. Establish a vehicle cleaning depot at the city points of the city to ensure dust, mud carried by the vehicle entering to the city. So, this is another very important thing, that vehicle cleaning depot must be created. So, what it will do, like when you go for washing of your vehicle, you get it your tires, and then vehicles get cleaned with the water. You have very powerful spray of water, then it removes all those things. So, before entering to the city, see, the idea is very simple, that let the pollution not come in the city, because once the pollution come into the city, it becomes very difficult to manage. So, it is very important there, and because of this they have huge impact on the health as well as the environment, and thus they can also damage on the economic cost. Actually, they are actually not good for the economics. So, exposure of the high level of dust can contribute to the respiratory problems, allergies and other health diseases, and especially if you are commuting, then this becomes very important, especially if you are using the two-wheelers, you are not, and then you are directly exposed. So, you are directly exposed, you will be very your health will be deteriorating very fast, or you may be actually developing kind of a respiratory problem, allergies and other health impacts. Then environmental impact, dust can settle on and contaminate soil, water and vegetation, affecting the ecosystem. Of course, it is there, but this is not that much serious compared to the health concern. Economic cost, dust can damage equipments. Yes, this is very important. If you are especially in the industries and in the commercial houses or the research industries. These can be actually very important. They can actually damage the equipment, reduce visibility, of course, is another issue we discussed, and then they can disrupt the transportation and other industries as well actually. Of course, this is not that much actually transportation in the urban areas, that is not that much is not affected, but yes, of course, that can be affected with this one. So, control measures for the road dust, we need to have very strong vehicle regulations, road surface treatment, then land use planning and public awareness. All the four pillars are needed actually. So, stricter emission standards and tire wear requirements can help to reduce the generation of the road dust. This is very important. Usually it is not only that you are going frequently, you go for your vehicle servicing. For example, you should be doing your vehicle servicing on a regular time, so that the emission is not very high. You should be actually like changing your tire once the tire is exhausted, because otherwise what will happen, this tire the gripping can be less, and then these dust particles can be again tire wear can be more actually in that case. Then applying dust suppressant, paving unpaved roads, and regular street sweeping can help control dust levels. This is another very important thing that we have to do. Then land use planning, careful zoning and separation of land use can minimize the contribution and activities like construction of the road dust. This is another very things. And educating the public and businesses on the practices, this is very important. We need to do this. Is in India, this is not there. Of course, they are there actually, but they are the people don't, it doesn't reach to the people. People are not make aware of the impact of air pollution, high air pollution, how it is going to affect their health. They are actually they are not, many of the people, if you just tell them, they would actually try to do this. Okay, we need to develop many strategies on this one. I discussed this in details, that how this can be a very big problem, and how the pollution in the city itself is keep recirculating. It is not actually going away from the system. And I gave some examples of Japan, China and Japan. This is examples of I have taken from China. I was there as a visiting scientist, so I saw this kind of things that they were doing very frequently, especially where there is actually kind of is high air pollution events that they are in the city. They usually do this kind of mist cannons, and they use the road sweeping, they use very frequently. So, this is the way they actually control the emissions, and we need to develop similar kind of strategies. If we do not develop these strategies, it is actually not possible for us to control the road dust emission, and road dust emission is really very serious problem for all of us. It is concerned to all the urban resident. So, I think that there is actually very important lessons that we learned, and we must stick to the regulations. We must try to reduce the air pollution, urban road dust emissions, as well as the concentration that is there in the atmosphere. So, we should reduce these things by putting our efforts with the government. Government needs to take initiatives to support residents, and residents needs to support the administration of the city. So, this is how we can work together, and we can control our emissions on the road dust. Thank you so much.